Alright, so I just want to talk about this guy real quick. I have been playing around with millimeter sensors, millimeter presence detectors, and I built this version originally because I thought this was going to be the winner, be the easiest to integrate with Home Assistant. And basically, this comes on here like so. And then you just got your simple, okay. And I was really proud of this design, really proud of like modeling it. Everything came together really nicely. And usually it doesn't work out this well on the first go. So I was already kind of weary when things were going extremely well with the modeling process. So things went really great. I got it wired up, pretty simple. It's just using the UART, so pretty simple connections. However, when I hooked it up into Home Assistant, no matter what I adjusted, no matter what I did, I just could not get the settings to act properly for what I needed to. The detection just continuously said detected. And overall, I went through documentation, I went through all the guides, and it just wasn't overall very helpful. And that's when I realized that the biggest difference between these products is when you have documentation and other examples available, you can kind of guess or piece together what's going on, but without at least a high level example or overview, it becomes nearly impossible to understand. So as you see, my desk is in full project mode. We've got stuff all over the place, which indicates we are definitely cooking up right now. If it was a clean desk, then we would have nothing going on. Don't ask me how or why that works that way, but that's how it goes. So we are cooking up, and yeah. So here's the thing: I really love these XIAO boards. Okay, and I realized that they had these modules. This is also a millimeter wave presence detector. However, if you see the size compared, so this gets basically backpack sandwiched to each other, and whoops, the footprint is significantly smaller than even this guy here. So basically you end up with a much smaller enclosure that I thought I had a copy of, but I might not. All right. Anyways, so yeah, so needless to say, I will probably just not be using this guy. I don't know that I'll have any other uses for it. Maybe I'll come down the line, revisit it, but for now, the implementation on the XIAO boards with the millimeter wave seeker is much better just because it utilizes Bluetooth to adjust any of the parameters. And then once it goes from Bluetooth, then it sends everything it needs to. And once it syncs up, you really don't have to adjust the parameters any further. And I was able to set up automations, do all my lights, everything, have it all adjusted so that it is conditionally turning on the lights during a certain time whenever I would like it to be and not constantly going off. It's fairly accurate. I would say I barely have any kind of missteps or any false activations or any moments where it's just powered off and I'm in the room. It's pretty solid, pretty reliable, and it's definitely been a great experience for me, but the documentation part has been the most lacking and been the most revealing because what I've learned is that without documentation, doesn't matter how great the sensor is supposed to be, without the documentation, it becomes like next to impossible to make anything happen. So just wanted to do a quick recap on that before I kind of archive this. But yeah, I mean, design worked out really well, but sometimes it just goes like that to where software wise it just doesn't work and you go through the process. But hey, it's part of learning.